Kirby's always told me that his family doesn't like me. I told Kirby's mom about the bruises on my body from Kirby hitting me. And she said to me, well, you don't have any marks, do you? And I said, yeah, I did. I said, I have pictures of it and the police have it. And she goes,
oh, you have little marks on your little hiney.
I'm pretty sure my mouth just dropped open. I cannot imagine why any woman would think it's okay for another woman to get hit. I don't care if it's your son or not. I realized that some people just care about preserving the family and don't care about the truth.
Well, that was Renee, who says Kirby's parents have never been supportive of their marriage. And let me ask you, did this ever happen before you got married?
Never.
And when was the first time?
The first time was very soon after we were married. And to be fair, so women understand, there's a lot of women that are watching this that are maybe seeing bits and pieces of something that looks familiar. To be fair, I took the first hit in our relationship. And so I went after him. I don't know what he said. Maybe he said, I don't know if you heard of any, I don't know what was shown yesterday. But he said things to me like I wasn't the prettiest woman he ever dated. He always pictured himself married to a tall blonde. He wanted to have more than one wife. He wished he could see every woman's boobs in the whole world, okay? I'm not justifying my actions, but what I'm saying is I threw the first hit. I'm 5'6", he's 6'5". I don't even know if I made contact. That's when he took me, threw me on the bed, spanked me with his open hand, and in my mind, that was kind of a no harm, no foul, like we were both idiots. And so I kind of forgot that one. Then the second time happened in the car, and that's where I had that moment. I just quit my job at a big corporation where I was able to provide for myself. I sat in the back of that van. I wouldn't sit in the front seat. I sat in the back, and I thought, I can't go back. My pride. It was my pride that kept me in that relationship instead of telling my mom, calling one of my bridesmaids, telling them I was in this relationship that was bad, but I stayed. And it might have been because I knew that I had thrown the first hit.
Why did he tell you you weren't the prettiest girl he ever dated?
Because apparently I wasn't.
Well, even if that was true, that would not be on the short list of things I would want to say to my wife.
Well, then maybe it was to gain power and control, which is what abusers do.
And it has to be a reason. He had to do it for a purpose, to put you down,
Exactly.
to put you in your place in some way.
Yeah.
You don't say that
Yeah.
to somebody.
Yeah, and you know, the whole thing, as I look back, I'm guessing in the 24-year marriage, he might have told me I was pretty 10 times.
Yeah.
I was always feeling subpar.
Yeah. Well, joining us in the audience is a family friend to Renee and Kirby. Trina was actually a bridesmaid in their wedding 26 years ago, and she says she's seen a change in Kirby over the years. So maybe, I mean, it's not that he was the same the day they married, but that there's been a change since then. What has changed, Trina?
Oh, well, everything. When Renee first introduced Kirby to her friends and co-workers, I met Renee because her and my husband worked together at the corporation. He was funny. He was outgoing. He was life of the party. He owned a hot air balloon company. He was an entrepreneur, and she was a businesswoman, and he was not bad looking, and he was a real flirt and confident. I mean, there was none of us said, oh, you should not date him. He's a creep. I mean, there was nothing creepy about him when we first met him at barbecues.
So what we saw yesterday in my conversation with him when we were talking is not the Kirby that you met originally.
Not
it's
originally.
not the Kirby she married.
No, not originally. But I do remember the dog's story. She told us that Biff died, and she told us that he was left dead to be raised for the dead. And that was the first time, and our oldest child was 5 years old, that as a group of bridesmaids, we were like, oh my gosh, he's sick. Like, what's wrong with him?
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.